Hi everyone. So in this video we will go through text mining and we need to build some data here. So I'm using Amazon accounts. I looked up HP printer and I'm taking any printer here just because I need to get some text reviews. So I will select a printer with a high review. Okay, just like this one. And I will go to the rating here. I have Microsoft Excel opened here. Okay, so this is the printer. These are here. Hit the reviews. So these are the reviews. So I will select like some text. Okay, and put the review here. So what we have here is, let's say, is review or comment. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, so this is here one. This is the header review. Let's take another one, maybe this one. Okay, we take another one here. Let's take several reviews. Control V. This one as well.
Power off.
Maybe this is long enough, so let's take this, the last one. Okay, now we have these reviews here. Okay, and we can add more if needed, but we have here the header is review. We can have more information if needed here. Let me show you. So here review here main review sub, whatever this name here. So I will take another review just to show you some examples how we do it. So in XLMINER, each column is here is like a word or a bag of words, and each row is a record or document. Okay, so actually this XLMINER will process this and we will get the words. So let me get another one here. Okay, so here, let me put it anywhere. So now we have some data here as a text. Okay, and we need to do our process. So let me maximize this one here. And the way we go to data mining. We have already the data here. We go to text. Okay, this one here. Now in this text, we make sure that the data is selected. You see it is up to 11, B11, so everything is selected. You see these are the two columns we have. The first one is review main and sub. So I will add this, double click here to add it here. Okay, so you see here that we have the current license here. Actually the student license has just one maximum. I wanted to show you both columns, but it is not going to work. So I'm selecting now just one column because of the limitation in the license. We hit next. Now this is here really, it is interesting. The first phase, pre-processing phase, we will talk about these items now one by one. The first one, analyze all terms. What that means that XLMINER will go through all the data, all the words here, and do the analysis. Now another option could be if you are looking for a specific term or specific word, let's say complain, let's say expensive. So we can set up here and do that. I will do it for the first time with you here in this video, and we will go and select some maybe terms here. Let's say that maybe homework. Okay, so I need to see if there is a term, exclusive terms here. So add term, and you see I'm adding the term. I need to do that. One is a school, a second term. I'm doing this just to show you homework. Let's assume that I need really to do some analysis just for specific terms, and you can add more terms, and even you can import more terms to do your study to see if these text, if this information has the terms you are looking for. So done. I will not run anything else because I will redo it, but I just want to show you this option. We hit next, we hit finish, and this is actually what we will see as a result. Okay, and let's here, and you see that is the focus. Homework, school, these are the two terms we selected. And if you see here, document number 6, remember each document is each row. So document 1 is row number 1 here. Okay, so that is except the header. So this is row number 1. Now let's go back here. You see that homework was found on document 6. So this is document 6. You go here, this is here, document 6. Okay, and here you can see the term homework, okay, and the term school. Interesting. So that because we defined the terms we needed XLMINER to look at. Okay, so we will go through this one, but you can do the same process. Just imagine that you have a huge document and you don't want to read everything. You need to see if there are keywords or anything you need, any term. You can do that study, and you can get, hey, where that term is, in which page and which document, and you can get more details. Now let's make sure if we look up this term, are we going to find it somewhere else? No. So it was mentioned just one time. Next, school, the same thing. Okay, let me take another term to say, like, let's say like work You see it has like several documents. So let's look up this term. Go to text. We select just one variable because of the limitation. Next, we select specified terms, and this time I will add term here, and I will add what we said, work, okay, and HB, or let's say printer. Okay, so hit OK, keep everything now the same, we will talk about them, hit finish. Let's go here. These are the two documents, and you see now they were mentioned more frequently on these documents. So it is so interesting, so useful if you have a major term and you are looking if you get reviews from your customers, so you can really know which review, which document you are referring to and where. So here really it is interesting how we can utilize this XLMINER to run text mining. Okay, now we will talk about the same thing, data mining text. We will select the first variable. Next. Here, so we talked about this. If you have specific terms, you can look them up in XLMINER. Now here, if you need the system to cover everything, okay? So this is if you need to cover all the documents for this variable review main here. So this is the option you selected. Now, I will not change anything else, just to show you an error message for this. So you see the system selected 1000, you hit next, finish, you get nothing. You hit close, and you get error message. So you see that the maximum vocabulary here is 50. So this is what you need to do. You need to go to data mining, okay, text, select it again. Over here, if you select 50 or less, it will work. Next, finish. Okay, so now you see it does work. We will talk about the results, but now let's also run another scenario to see the different options and how we can do each one. Here we will talk about stopword removal. In XLMINER there is a predefined list of the terms, idioms to be excluded, and you can see this list here. Okay, it is a long list, so these, when you run the text mining, these will be excluded. Now I will show you one scenario. Let's select just 5 just to make it like limited or simple, and let's see what we get. We hit finish, we keep everything the same, and over here we get the list. So you see we got this one: install, print, printer, set, work. Let's now add this word printer into our list and see what we get. We should not get that term printer when we run it. Okay, let's assume that the word printer doesn't make any sense, and really I don't need it in my results. So I can go here to stop word removal and add one. Let me see what. Okay, so you see I added it twice. So it is when you hit add, you will see it here at the end. You double click and you add the word printer. Okay, printer, done. Let's now run it again with 5, and let's see if we will get printer in the output. You see, we don't have a printer here, so it is gone. Why? Because we excluded when we run the list. Okay, so this is interesting as well. You may use it if you need to avoid certain terms or words. You go here again, edit, you go back and you look up printer. Oh, it is here. You look up a printer. Now, when we run it again, let's run it with 5 here, and I need to run it again. So I get the words here again, printer. Let's assume that I need to do one exclusion, and I'm lost. Where is this? Oh, it is here. Okay, so I'm just running multiple scenarios. This is okay. So we go here again, next. Now let's see about exclusion list. Okay, so again, this paragraph or this section here about reduction, about like idioms reduction. Okay, one option is when you have a set of words you need really to exclude because they don't add any meaning. Okay, they are not keyword. Now we will talk about exclusion list. We did talk about stop word. As we said, it is a list already there like these. We have more than 300. Maybe you can add more, and what this will make or do, that any like the word you here will be excluded. Okay, because it is just not a keyword. Now sometimes if you are doing emails, if you are doing, let's say, where really sometimes you have like some examples where it says sender, receiver, reply, forward, and you don't need those terms to issue or to be used every time you run your analysis. So what you can do, you can add exclusion list, okay, to this. So if you remember when we did the 5 terms here, we got printer. Okay, now we will try to add printer to the exclusion list here by adding this printer. Okay, we can add reply, we can add sender, we can add address, whatever, based on the data we get. We hit finish, we go here and we see that we don't have a printer. Why? Because we excluded. Let's go back to the data here. We go to text, again this one, next, and you see exclusion list, nothing now, and I will have 5, finish. Oh, because here if I check exclusion, I need to select one exclusion, so now I'm not selecting any exclusion here. Finish. I should get the printer, and it is here. So that is also one use of this option. Okay, now here we have a good feature as well. So we did talk about stop word removal, we talked about exclusion list, we talked about maximum terms here. Let me select 10. Okay, and run it as it is. I'm not changing anything here. Finish, and let's get what we are getting here. Okay, these are the terms we are getting. Now let me assume that, you know, let's cartridge is ink. Okay, so this one is ink and this one is ink. What else? Okay, so I'm assuming this example, these two, I need to really, every time I get it, I need to do some reduction here. So I need to use this and this to be really minimized to one item. So let me show you. Let me have this here. I will go and run it again. Oh, sorry. Here, I should select this text and select this. Next. Now this is the option here. I will put this 10. Okay. And I will keep everything the same except this one here. Advanced. Synonym reduction. Again, sometimes you have like a word printer, okay, and print, and you have like car, auto, vehicle, and you have many convertible, I mean sedan, SUV, so maybe they all refer to the same thing. So what you tell the system here, XLMINER, that look, every time you do this here, every time you get these words, let's say cartridge here, cartridge, I need to spell it the same way. Okay, so this is one, I do space, I put ink. So every time you get this or this, use this one. Okay, I will call it ink, printer ink. Okay, printer ink, like that. Okay, now that is, I will just take this example. So even I have this cartridge or ink, I will not see them individually in the records. I will see just like one item as printer ink. Just assume the same example. It could be here, like you have sedan, space car, space vehicle, okay, space SUV, space Mercedes, you know, it is car, or Mazda, etc. So you do space and then here you just name it car. Okay, anyway, we don't have this example here, but for this we will see the result now. Okay, we will see the results. We didn't save it here, so space ink. Okay, so this is the option and I will use it here, ink for printer. Okay, hit OK. Now these are the items we have. Now we run it with 10. Let's go to the results. Look what we get. Let me show you the previous results. It was somewhere. Okay, so it should be 15. Okay, it is here. So this is the 114. I will show you what we got here, and we go to 15. So this is the result we got. So you see in the previous we got ink, we got cartridge. Okay, but now you don't see cartridge here, you don't see ink. what we see one new item. So this is the way we use it if we need to reduce some terms as well in the data. Here we will talk about these options now. I will talk about normalize. It is easy as well if you don't select normalize. Let's take 10 records, hit finish, and we see that HB, if it is capital letter, we see it as capital letter, okay? And the same. So when we go and run it again, ten records, and we will check this, normalize, finish. We see the results. It is HB small letter. So normalize does here actually that everything is lowercase. Okay, that is the standard in XLMINER. Anyway, you can set up some more advanced, like if you have email address, you need to use the email address as one unit, so you have more options to use. Stemming is as well, is when you do stripping words down, like if you have, let's say, a word supporting, support, supportive, so maybe you have the root and you can select that root. We don't use this so often. We will cover now the last section here, term filtering. After everything here before, so now the terms we are selecting, and you see it is clear here that if a terms happens or occurs less than 2% of the documents, then really don't show that number, okay? Remove it, because maybe it was mentioned just twice. So these items, now if you increase this, you will remove more items or terms. Over here, remove terms occurring in more than 98% of the documents. So if something is repetitive, so also you need to remove it, okay? So you can change these and you can get different results. You can practice it, and really it depends on the documents you are getting, let's say that really you need to focus on the items happening the most, so you can really increase this, so then you don't get results for items less than a certain percentage, or vice versa. If you need really to focus on the items happening the less, so maybe you can change this as well. Now sometimes the maximum term length, also I keep it standard here, is the word if you need to get that word. And let's assume in our example the printer, let's select that I need a 3 or 4. Okay, let's try it together and select it 10, everything, and finish. Now let's see the results. Okay, so I selected the 4, so you see here 4 home, so that is now the what I'm getting here as maximum, okay, because of the items I selected. Now let's do it again, and let's do it 2. That is the maximum, and hit finish. Let's see the result. So that is what I'm getting. You see, just those terms with 2 digits or 2, like these. So this is what I'm focusing on, because that is the maximum accepted. So really you can change this based on the need of the analysis, based on what you are covering, what you are looking for. You can change this one. If you increase this, then if a word is equal or less than 20, you will be able to get that one. Okay, I don't think we have a word here more than 20, so really we will be able to attract and get everything. So we tried, I mean, less numbers, we tried this, so we covered everything here. And let's now go to standard results. Let's get 10. No need to do any exclusion, keep everything the standard. We hit next. Now here, representation, we will talk about this briefly. Here we will try to talk about each one. So as we saw here, we selected the default, now 10. Let's talk about presence absence. So actually here, I mean XLMINER, what we'll do, we'll enter one, okay, if there is a record in the column row intersection. Let's say printer. If that record or if that term is existence in the column record, then we will see number 1. It doesn't matter how many times that printer is there, okay? Because this matrix doesn't take into the account the number of times the term occurs in each document. So let's try this and run it here and run it finish. And let's see the results. So you see here, this is the printer, and you see here the records. So really, if you are looking record number document or record number 1, yes, the printer was mentioned. Record number 2, 3, 4, except number 5, okay, and number 9. So that is, if it is 0, then the ink was not mentioned in record 1, but it was mentioned in record 2, okay. So that is the first option. The second option here, I select again 10. I'm keeping everything as it is. Now the second one here is if we selected this, so here what we select this option, and actually this option is more like this is the default setting. It is like term frequency and inverse document frequency. So that is really more about the frequency of the document and taking some like total number of the document divided by the number of documents that contain the term. We can say that a high value of TF IDF indicates that a term that doesn't occur frequently in the collection. So let's see it. Let's see here, next, finish, and we see that these are the terms, okay, and we see here. Now what we can say about this result is like a printer. You see, when the number is not 0, that means that, or it is happening frequently in this document, okay. Now when it is 0, it means that it didn't happen in this document, okay. And if you go to the document 5, you will see no record or no term, or no term for the printer. Now we run it again. Next, and we keep it here 10. Next. We covered this and this one. Now, term frequency. If we are interested to see number of times, okay, that the term appeared. So this is really what we need to select. Hit finish. And we go here. And we see that for a printer, in record number 4, the printer appeared 4 times. Okay, so if you go to record number 1, this is record number 1, and you locate printer. So that is the records, and this is here printer. Okay, so that is the records you are going to get here, like when you open the printers. We see here that record number 1, we have 4 times the printer term was mentioned, and this is what we see here. So it is really interesting. You can see how many times each term was mentioned in each record. Now for this option, it is really, I mean, it is just, you can get all the data based on one scale, and you can get the data on one scale. You can run it and you can see the result of that. Okay, so that is for these options. Now we will talk about output options. We will select most of the options here, and we will not be able to cover everything to avoid like the long time to cover these. So I have now the standard selection, these options here, and this one. Hit finish, and this is what I get. You can see the summary, you can see the information here, and you see total number of records, the final one, and the one selected, because we did the maximum to be 10. Okay, so then we see the number of documents or records. In this example is number of lines, and we see the character in each one and the terms in each one as well. We see the other slide, other spreadsheet here. So we have here 0 if the record or term was not mentioned, and 1 if it was mentioned. We have 10 terms because we selected the maximum 10, and you can see each record and also the term where it was mentioned. Over here we see the same terms, the 10 terms here, and we see collection frequency and document frequency. So this one actually here, document frequency, like in the documents, if we go to this one and we see printer, okay, like 1 here, we don't know how many times it was mentioned, but if you go here, you see that the printer was mentioned 8 times in the documents. Okay, I am not sure about 18. I guess it is in the whole I guess the spreadsheet or the text. I need to run it and confirm that. Over here now, review main concept. So this is the concept here, and the data, the concept, how important the concept is, concept document metrics. Now this one here for the values, we will not go through explaining the details here. You can go through the reports and you can see different measurement about the terms we selected and the options we selected when we run the model. Okay, so we end up here. Actually, this one is for the previous one. So we covered most of the details in data text mining here in XLMINER. Thank you for watching.